What's up everyone? I have got some awesome news. I passed my CompTIA PenTest Plus exam last night. Yep, after weeks of studying, practicing, and hammering away at tools and labs, I did it. And in this video, I'm gonna break down the actual topics that came up on the exam. So, if you're studying, pay close attention, because these are the real deal. Alright, let's get into it. 1. Web application attacks. Stored and reflected. XSS stored XSS. The attacker's malicious script is saved on the website, like in a comment or forum post, and runs automatically when other users view that page. Reflected XSS. The malicious script is not stored, instead it's included in a link, like a search or URL parameter, and runs immediately when the user clicks the link. Both allow attackers to run scripts in someone else's browser, often used to steal cookies, redirect users, or hijack sessions. CSRF, which stands for Cross-Site Request Forgery, identifying vulnerable parameters in HTTP requests, tools like Burp Suite, Beef, and identifying obfuscated payloads too, Credential Attacks. Kerberoasting using GetUserSPNs.py, NTLMv2, hash capture using Responder, password spraying with CrackMapExec, brute force techniques with tools like Hydra, post-exploitation persistence using STASks. 3. Network recon and scanning. Nmap service and version detection, banner grabbing, wireless attacks like web cracking with initialization vectors and channel scanning. 4. Privilege escalation and lateral movement, using LOLBins like msbuild.exe for executing payloads, PsExec for lateral movement, pivoting using Netcat, enumerating SPNs for Kerberoasting. 5. Report writing and engagement rules and the importance of a clear executive summary, also including things like testing window, authorization letter, and shared responsibilities in your rules of engagement, using peer review to improve report quality. 6. Wireless attacks. Mapping findings to business impact, tools like aircracking, identifying when to use monitor mode, WEP weaknesses via initialization vectors. 7. Threat modeling and scoring. Knowing the difference between DREAD, CVSS, and EPSS when to use threat models like STRIDE or PASTA. DREAD, risk scoring model, damage, reproducibility, exploitability, affected users, discoverability. CVSS, industry standard for rating vulnerability severity, score 0-10. EPSS, predicts how likely a vulnerability is to be exploited in the wild. STRIDE, threat modeling framework, spoofing, tampering, repudiation, info disclosure, DOS, elevation. PASTA, risk-based threat modeling process, 7 stages from business impact to attack simulation. 8. Cloud and SSRF attacks. Cloud and SSRF attacks involve exploiting web apps to make unauthorized requests to internal or cloud metadata services, often exposing sensitive data like IAM credentials. You'll also want to know about SSRF payloads targeting metadata services, for example 169.254, 169.254 identifying when WAFs are blocking requests, misconfigured public buckets on AWS or GCP. 9. Exploitation tools and techniques, using Metasploit, MS17_010, MS08_067, PsExec, downloading and executing remote PowerShell payloads and living off the land with Rundle32, RegizVR32, msta. Honestly, the exam was challenging but very doable if you put in the work. It was very real-world focused, not just definitions. So you need to understand how attacks actually work and how to use the tools. Alright, so here's what really helped me pass. I spent a lot of time practicing with tools like Nmap, Responder, CrackMapExec, and Burp Suite, but honestly, it's not just about knowing how to use the tools. You gotta learn when and why you'd use each one. Dion training broke that down well for me. I also made sure to understand things like reporting, rules of engagement, and what to do after exploitation. Oh, and don't forget to study topics like cross-site scripting, SMB, Kerberos, and different pivoting strategies. Those definitely came up. So yeah, I'm now officially PenTest Plus certified. If you're studying for it too, just keep grinding. Focus on the topics I mentioned and, practice as much as possible. You've totally got this. And hey, if this video helped, drop a like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you want me to do a deep dive on any of these topics.